The Dow Jones just dropped over 800 points, and the mainstream financial media is completely missing the real story. Today, we are talking about the $175 billion refund trap, the president's Plan B 15% tariff, and exactly how the FactorDad community is protecting our portfolios while the rest of Wall Street panics. Here is the crazy part. Didn't we just win? The Supreme Court struck down the Emergency Liberation Day tariffs. That means importers are technically owed a massive $175 billion refund. On paper, the market should be ripping to all-time highs right now. Instead, the Dow is shedding hundreds of points. The rules of the game just changed overnight. If you are a late starter trying to protect your nest egg, you cannot afford to hold the wrong stocks right now. Hit the subscribe button right now to join the FactorDad community. We don't guess which political sector wins. We demand cash flow, and we are going to navigate the next 150 days of trade chaos together. Hit subscribe, and let's get into the data. The market hates uncertainty, and we just entered a massive legal vacuum. We are seeing a classic, quote, flight to safety today. Investors are dumping stocks, fleeing into gold, which is up 3% today, and buying bonds, driving the 10-year yield down to 4.04%. It is pure panic behavior. The market is crashing because the White House didn't back down. They pivoted. With the emergency powers dead, Trump immediately pulled out the 1974 Trade Act, specifically Section 122. This allows the president to slap a 15% blanket global tariff on the world to fix a, quote, balance of payments deficit. He just swapped one tariff for another. But here is the detail everyone is missing. This new tariff isn't permanent. Section 122 expires in exactly 150 days unless Congress votes to extend it. We are no longer investing in a permanent trade war. We are investing in a 5-month window of extreme political volatility. Everything hinges on what Congress does next. And what about that $175 billion refund? Forget it. The president has publicly threatened to use trade licenses to do, quote, terrible things. This means they are likely going to create obnoxious license fees, designed specifically to claw back any cash they are forced to refund. Do not price a massive cash injection into your favorite retail stocks yet. The rest of the world is not waiting around. The European Union Parliament just officially halted ratification of our massive trade deal. All those promises of 0% tariffs on aircraft and semiconductors, they are completely frozen. Team Europe is treating this new 15% tariff as a breach of contract. And it is not just Europe. Trade talks with India were just cancelled. China is demanding a total abandonment of all tariffs. We are watching global supply chains fracture faster today than they did back in 2018. The cost of doing business internationally just skyrocketed. So how does this impact your money? If you look at the tape today, the Russell 2000 is plunging 2%, taking a significantly worse beating than the Dow or the S&P 500. This is happening because the Russell 2000 is packed with unprofitable, zombie companies. These junk stocks barely survive on thin margins. A sudden 15% cost hike on their imported materials will bankrupt the weak players. When the market panics, FactorDad investors do not. We follow a strict rule. We demand profitability, and we demand value. We are not trying to guess if steel or agriculture will get a tariff exemption next week. We are buying the companies that make so much money, they can eat a 15% tariff and still pay us a dividend. This is why our portfolio bunkers are AVUV for U.S. small cap value and AVDV for international. These ETFs do something passive index funds do not do. They actively screen out the junk. If a small cap company isn't highly profitable, it does not get into these funds. For the next 150 days, volatility is the baseline. We also have to account for unpredictable variables. For instance, airline stocks like Delta and United are tanking today not just because of tariffs, but because a massive blizzard has grounded thousands of flights on the East Coast. You cannot control the weather, and you cannot control Washington. Keep your head down, stick to your rebalancing strategy, and let the profitability screens do the heavy lifting. I want to hear from you. Drop your top tariff-proof stock in the comments below. What is holding up in your portfolio today? And if this breakdown helped you make sense of the chaos, hit that subscribe button. We have 150 days until the next major deadline, and I will be here updating you every step of the way. Stay disciplined, FactorDad family.